Hi guys, this time I will show you how to knit this pattern for a triangle scarf or shawl, and it's very elastic. You will need two sizes or two different needles with two different sizes. I have here 4.5 millimeter and this one is 10 millimeter. You can see this here. And we will have to use for each row a different needle. Make sure that the yarn you're using fits the small needle, the small size. I will use the thicker needle for the beginning, and I will start with a slip knot to make this. Create a circle and put the long yarn under the circle, and then pull the yarn through the circle, and you have here a loop, and then you can insert your needle into this loop and tighten. So this is your starting slip knot. And now we have to increase this stitch, so we make 2 stitches out of 1. And to do this, we have to knit it twice. So first I will purl it and then I will knit it. To purl, insert your needle from above onto the front side. Grab the yarn and pull it through the stitch. And leave it there. Then take the yarn to the other side and knit it. Insert your hook from above into the back side of the stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through the stitch, and take the stitch to the other needle. So this is your increase. You have 2 stitches out of 1. And the next step will be the same. I will knit every stitch twice. First purl, and then knit. It doesn't matter if you start with the knit stitch or with the purl stitch. You can choose your way. So now you have 4 stitches, and at this point we can start with the pattern. Our pattern will be purl 1, knit 1, or knit 1, purl 1. It doesn't matter if you start with knitting or with purling. And we have to increase after the first stitch and before the last stitch. And I will increase it by yarning over, so we will have an extra loop. So first I purl the first stitch, take it to the other needle. Now we have a yarn over. The third one will be a purl stitch again, because we have here purl, knit, purl, then we have a knit stitch. Now we have a yarn over and a knit stitch. So we have here a yarn over and here a yarn over, and these extra loops we have to knit them too. And if you start your work again and you don't know if you have to knit or to purl, you can have a look at your strand, at your long strand, and you have to take your work into this direction, and then you have to take a look. And in this point we have our long strand onto the front side, and that means, or that tells me, that I have to purl. So I will purl this stitch. Then I will also purl this one, because it is easier to purl at this point. Of course our pattern is different, but I will explain it to you. So this one tells me also to purl it. And after our first 3 stitches, now we have to do our pattern. So this was purling, now this will be a knit stitch, this one a purl stitch, and this one a knit stitch. Now we have to create extra loops again. My yarn tells me to purl the first stitch, so I will purl it. Then I will have a yarn over. This one tells me to knit, because this strand is longer and it's easier to knit at this point. And after the first 3 we have to knit our pattern. So purl, knit, purl, yarn over, and purl. And you have to repeat this pattern in this way until you have your size which you like. And after you have received your size for your shawl, you can cast off. I will link it down there, and you can watch how to cast off. And you have to know that every yarn or your wool makes a different pattern. So your wool maybe will look different than mine, so make sure that it fits also to your needles. And you have of course to make sure that the yarn fits the smaller needle size, and the bigger needles shouldn't be too big, so maybe the double size. Of course you can use size 30 millimeter and 9, size 2 and 8, and so on.